Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Pick a Card General Reading. What we're going to do is we've got 3 piles here. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Just choose one particular pile that you're drawn to. No need to put too much thought into it. Whatever you just sort of feel attracted to, choose that pile, and then we'll just delve into the individual cards in that pile. Now please remember, this is just a general reading, so not every part of the reading, even in that pile, will resonate with you. There would be just certain parts that are meant to be for you. So please take only what resonates for you and leave the rest here. So when you're ready, just pause the video, choose a pile, and then just check the timestamps and then go to that particular pile for your reading. Hi, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this particular pile, please note this is just a general reading, so not all the messages will resonate with you. So please only take what resonates and leave the rest here. All right, let's just get into the reading. All right, so first 3 cards that we've got for you for this particular reading are 10 of Cups upright, the Sun, which is reversed, and 8 of Pentacles, which is reversed. So now we'll just go into all these cards one by one. So the first card that we've got is 10 of Cups upright. Now, if you look at this particular card, this is a picture perfect card. You know, this is exactly the kind of image you would see on social media where, you know, all your 10 cups are full. So this is like complete manifestation of all your dreams. There's kids playing, there's, you know, very nice large fields, they're all well maintained, there's a house, and the couple looks very happy, there's rainbows. So this is a perfect picture. This is exactly what everyone wants to manifest, which is a good start to the reading. So it may appear that your current energy is that you do have you have manifested most of your dreams that you wanted to till this particular stage, at least. And that need not mean that, you know, all the boxes in relationship, career, and everything else in life in general is ticked, but it could be within a relationship you've ticked all the boxes, or within a career you've ticked all the boxes. And if you've ticked all the boxes in life, then well and good. You know, that is also a scenario that's possible. So obviously it'll differ depending on your individual situations. So this is what the image is. This is what you wanted to achieve. This is what the image is looking like. And this is a picture perfect image. But then what happens is, as we go into the next card, which is the Sun reversed. So let me just show this card to you when it is upright. When this particular card is upright, the Sun, it actually signifies joy. So you see this little child dressed in white, sitting on a white horse. White horse is a sign of purity and strength. And the child is just carefree, happy. There's a lot of joy coming out of this particular card. And that is what this particular card, the Sun, signifies. But when the same card is reversed, the message that we're getting here when this is placed next to your 10 of Cups, which is this picture perfect image, and then we've got this Sun card, which is reversed, is that you might have all the boxes ticked for the sake of it, or, you know, you've attained it all, but there is a lack of joy. Somewhere you're feeling that there is no fulfillment despite having everything that you wanted. There is lack of that inner fulfillment. There is still a void. You don't feel as happy as you thought you would feel once you attain it. No wonder you would have got it. And, you know, there's always this happiness that rests for a couple of days or, you know, a couple of months. But then you start feeling the same thing, the same void, that maybe this is not where my happiness lies. So there's this search of happiness that seems to be still ongoing. Like there's this conflict here that I have it all, but I still don't feel that joy that I thought I would feel. So what is happening here? Now, if you look at the third card, which is 8 of Pentacles reversed. Now, when this same card is upright, there is a young person that is, you know, very dedicated to work. Looks like, you know, they've got all their energy focused in that particular project. So to an extent where there's a sense of perfectionism here, like every pentacle needs to look alike. There needs to be all the finer details that needs to be fine-tuned. So that's sort of a compulsive behavior that comes from this particular person. Now, when that same card is reversed, it seems that it has gone to its extreme. So what we see here is that, you've got your picture perfect image here. So there's that energy. Those boxes are ticked. So you do have things going good for you, but there is lack of that fulfillment still. There is still something missing, as if you feel you need to bring in more into this perfect image. You're sort of, there's more of that perfectionism. There's this almost to a point where you want everything well defined, where things should be, how the tree should grow, how the cups should be polished, everything. So maybe it's that sort of perfectionism, that expectation that everything has to be perfect is what is sort of weighing down on you. The other scenario that is possible is that it's the responsibilities that come with this 10 of cups. Maybe in your mind you thought, once I have my 10 of cups, when I have that, beautiful house, when I have that beautiful wife, when I have that beautiful husband, when I have that beautiful family, when I have, all that property abundance that I need, I'm going to be happy. But the problem is now you have reached that, but you still don't find that happiness. And to an extent, now you feel there's responsibilities, because with this picture perfect image that you would see on a social media, there's a lot of work that goes behind it. The kids need to be taken care of. The lawns need to be mowed. The fields need to be taken care of. The cups need to be polished. The trees need to be trimmed. So everything needs hard work. So I think there's this place where you're finding it difficult to balance the responsibilities without them consuming you or consuming your peace of mind or happiness. So you need to find that balance where you need to understand that to maintain that image, to maintain that happiness or sense of attainment, you need to sort of consistently work on it. That's how, you can maintain it. And again, it's a life cycle. You cannot always have, happy moments, joyful moments. There are going to be ups and downs, but you need to sort of acknowledge that. You cannot sort of go, okay, I got my 10 of cups, but I'm not happy. Now what? Now what do I do? So what this Sun card reversed here also indicates is that somewhere you're ignoring that inner child, that joy, that is your personal work. That was never meant to come from this 10 of cups. This 10 of cups is good. Like, well and good, you've worked hard for it, you got it, and you're working hard now. But let go of that perfectionism and finer details and let things be the way they are. Let them unfold the way they are. But this 10 of cups needs constant work to be able to maintain that happiness. But more than that, you need to work on your inner child, your inner joy. You need to go back to that particular stage where just puddles of water made you happy, where you were just happy when the sun rises and you see butterflies. That enthusiasm is missing. That excitement in you is missing. It's like you're riding this wave where when you reach to the top, you're happy, but you're not happy when the wave is sort of coming down. But you need to remember it's a cycle. So there will be a new wave, but that enthusiasm and excitement is your inner work. That is not going to come from, you can add 10 more cups to this particular card. So that's what we're seeing with the current energy here. The next card that we've got here is Temptation. That sort of works with what the energy we've got here is that, you've got this 10 of cups going on. There's lack of that inner fulfillment and emotional joy. Enthusiasm is missing. You're putting too much effort in getting things perfect, thinking, I need to fine tune everything here, and that's when I'm going to get my joy. But at the same time, there is also energy of choices, like there are some sort of, and this could also mean career, like this could be your new job or your new career, and you always thought this is, once I get my promotion or once I reach there, I'm going to get my happiness. But again, it all comes down to, doesn't matter what this is, relationship, career, or life in general, it all comes down to this particular card, which is very important, that your inner joy, inner child, enthusiasm, excitement from your end is missing. So that's what we need to work on instead of looking for temptations. So it seems like because of that lack of joy here, you feel this picture is incomplete. So you're trying to sort of find choices or options that could refine this picture. And that could be in terms of relationships. You could be thinking, have you chosen the wrong partner? Is this not compatible? Same thing with the career. Have you made the wrong choice? So you're looking outside. You're sort of, so there is a feeling of that there's compromise integrity in some form. And that could be like, you've got this particular role in your career, in your job, you've found this, you've got this, but now you're making easy choices. You're getting tempted to make easy choices or easy shortcuts to get to where you thought you can get and add to your happiness. So basically the energy of temptation, energy of compromise integrity in some form is sort of coming out here. The next card that we've got here is time to go, but it's sort of reversed. Now, when this card is upright, you can see this person is just walking out, like, they're just walking onto this open path, seeking for another project, seeking for another relationship, or seeking for fulfillment in another person, despite the fact that they've got their 10 cups full. They've got this, everything set up, but still there's this missing fulfillment. But when the same card is reversed, what this card is urging you is you need to go inside. This is an inside job. This joy is not an outside job. This 10 of cups was never meant to get you happiness anyways. It was all supposed to come from here. It was all supposed to come from that inner child. It was always supposed to come from you. So this particular card is urging you that it's time to go inwards. Enough of looking outside for this happiness, but now it's time to look inside and find where my joy is. Find that inner child. Find, that part of your life where you did not need external circumstances to make you happy. You were happy regardless. Nothing outside controlled your happiness. So that's where you need to go and find that inner child. That's where you're going to find that emotional fulfillment. The next card that we've got here is Island, Solitude. Now, if you look closely at this particular card, you see there's a lot of water, which indicates emotions, and then we've got this deserted island, and there's one tree on it. So somewhere we're getting this energy of that you feel like this tree, you feel like, isolated. You've got everything, but you still feel there is no fulfillment. Like, you thought this is going to be something like, a blossoming island, but now you feel that you're restricted. There is too many responsibilities. There's too much that goes on to maintain that 10 of cups picture perfect image. So you're struggling with understanding, is that the choices that you made? Or is this how it's always meant to be? So there's that sort of confusion. But if you look closely, the tree on top of the island, it's blossoming. It's blossomed. It's not a dead tree. And there's some light from the sky, which indicates that if you understand where you are, and you will come to that realization that where you are, the blossoming is your own inner job. The blossoming has nothing to do with other trees growing on this island. You have to be emotionally fulfilled within yourselves first. You can't expect that your blossoming is going to come from a tree that's going to be next to you. That defies logic, to be honest. And that's what sort of is coming out of here. And there's a difference between isolation and solitude. So this particular card is also urging you, or the universe is urging you, to look for some solitude, which might mean that instead of looking for your next project or your next person or the next relationship or next thing that will make you happy, look for some solitude, look for some quiet time. So there's a difference. Isolation is where you feel you feel lonely amongst people, but solitude is where you make a choice. So get yourself a couple of days with no schedules, no meetings, no work, no people, no relationship, no nothing. Get yourself those 2 days where you can just get away and reflect back on what all you had to do to achieve this picture perfect image, and where did you leave this inner child. Find out the gap between these two cards. And that's where your inner happiness is. And that's where you will find where your fulfillment is going to come. And suddenly this picture will become more clear, more refined, and much more happier without any additional element added to it, or without going other places, without the temptation coming in. So the universe is urging you to find that solitude where you are able to find that inner child, where you're able to find your own inner happiness. The next card that we've got is this little card here where you can see there's a family. There's the sun shining outside, which is that inner child, that joy. There's celebration. There's enough prosperity, abundance, food. There's people that seem to all get along. But what you see here is there's a little child here. The child is not wearing anything. It's a naked child with a flower in its hand. It's very curious, excited, and looking around, not interested in all these responsibilities and worldly things going around. They are in the middle of some serious conversations, but the child is just in its own world. The child is, the naked child indicates that there are no masks. This child is carefree. They don't care what the world thinks or how they act or how they should act. There's no rule book for this child. This child wants to be the way it is, and the child does not care, and that's where the happiness is. The child will get its happiness from a puddle of water. The child gets its happiness from not wearing anything, and that's what the child does. So there are no restrictions here. So the universe is urging you that you need to find that excitement and enthusiasm, and that's where your happiness is. You've experienced it before, and you will experience it again if you go and find that inner child. So work on finding that joy. And that's where this picture perfect image is going to get completed. The next card that we've got here is humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Exactly what I just said right now. So what you need to do is you need to find ways to sort of lighten up your life. It's not all serious business. You don't always have to be this perfectionist that is going to sort of, fine tune and create this best image after 20 years or 50 years. There's no perfectionism in human life. There's going to be ups and downs, and everyone's an individual. So you need to find that lighter side of life. You need to find that joy. That is all the universe is urging you to do. And that's where your happiness is going to lie. If you're sort of on a mission to create a perfect image for the world, which you've already created, then that's going to come at the cost of your inner joy and actual real happiness. So this is an illusion, which a lot of people sort of portray outside, but no one knows the reality behind it. But I think it's high time that you need to start working on that. So try to find a little bit more lighter moments, try to find that joy of an inner child. And that's what is sort of going to complete this picture. The last card that we've got here is loving myself unconditionally. So again, like I said, you've been just looking for fulfillment in all places outside, not inside. This tree, the only way this tree is going to blossom is if this tree nurtures itself. The tree takes care of itself. The neighboring trees are not going to, get blossoms on this particular tree. So you need to love yourself. You need to find that peace within you. You need to find that inner child within you. It's not your responsibility to fix the world. You've got your partners, you've got your career, you've got your children. That's good. But you cannot just sort of live in that fear of how do I hold on to this happiness? Because no matter what you do, you cannot hold on to their journeys and their experiences, which are going to influence your 10 of cup picture perfect life as well. So you need to work on yourself. You need to love yourself unconditionally. That, there are going to be days where you're going to be down. Things are not looking perfect. Even if you've got everything, you just feel sad, or accept it. And let those emotions just pass through you, but don't get too attached to those emotions. There is no outside influence that can give you that happiness, which is your inner job. So maybe try to work on that aspect of yourself. Try to find what is it that you like about yourself, you love about yourself. Try to do that more often, but don't let these responsibilities sort of overpower your life, because then it just becomes that you start living for the sake of it rather than living a fulfilled life. Like, no amount of cups are ever going to give you that happiness then. So you need to find that balance. So that's what I have for you, Group 1 today. So I hope you liked your reading. And please remember, only take what resonates with you and leave the rest here. Above all, please just have a great week. Thank you and bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading. If you chose this pile, then this is your reading. Please remember, this is just a general reading, so not all the messages are going to be resonating with you. Please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest here. All right, let's just get into your reading now. All right, let's look at your first 3 cards. So we've got the Tower reversed, the Moon upright, and Ace of Cups upright. So let's just get into each and every card individually. So first card is the Tower. Now, if you look closely at the Tower when it is upright, what it shows is there's a sudden change. There's a sudden change of events that is causing you distress. It is unannounced, but it's sort of inevitable. Now I'll explain it to you. See, two people just falling down. There's the tower that breaks, and it only took one lightning from the top, and the entire tower just crumbles. So it feels like there's an energy of whatever you've been building up so far with the tower that is made up of walls. Pretty much signifies your stubbornness. So you've been in the situation where you've built up these walls and tower, and you thought, this is going to be your forever. This is how your life is going to be. And then suddenly there's one lightning strike and everything comes crumbling down. It's on fire. And then this particular lightning strike from the top signifies that this is sort of inevitable. This is something that the universe wanted. So there was nothing you could do to stop it. This is what the situation is supposed to be. Now, when the same card is reversed, what happens is that there is resistance to accepting this, that how did my tower collapse? I worked so hard. Everything was perfect. I thought this is how my life is going to be. This is what everything is going to be. So you had literally determined your future, that this is how you're going to live. And this is it. No one gets in, no one goes out. And this is where I'm going to live forever. And suddenly the universe says that's not how it works. You need to be a part of the community out there. You need to let other people in. There has to be movement, because there was a lot of stagnation here in this particular situation. Now, this situation could be your relationships, career, or any small event in your life, but there's a sudden change. This is something that has happened in your immediate past, and there's this current energy going on. Or this could also mean that there is such an event coming in your immediate future, and this is where your intuition sort of telling you that if you're in a situation where you've locked yourself into that, in your walls, in your tower, in your stubbornness, that this is how things are going to be, then it's time for you to sort of willingly, voluntarily step out, because otherwise there are inevitable results. Like the universe is going to break the tower, because that is not serving the higher purpose. It's not serving highest good of all. And then you also see that with the card reversed, there are two people that are falling, but it looks like now they're falling in the opposite direction, and there is it's almost like they're falling in an abyss. So there's no end to it. They don't see the ground underneath anymore. Like everything is upside down. There's chaos. So there's that sort of energy. There's a resistance to accepting that your plans are not what the plans of the universe are. Simple as that. The next card that we've got here is the moon. The moon upright, it means transformation. And that is definitely what we're seeing here with the tower. But if you look closely at the moon, the light of the moon is not as strong as the light of the sun. So it does not show you the path too far forward. You can only see a little bit of it. And that's where you are as you're falling from the tower. You don't see the end. You only see what has occurred right now. And that's where your mindset is. But if you also look at it, and there's a tower here, two towers. But if you also look at this image, there's two animals. So there's one dog and a wolf, which pretty much signifies the tamed and the untamed aspects of our conscious mind. And then the water here signifies your subconscious mind, with this crayfish coming out, which is sort of your awakening of your subconscious. So this particular tower moment in your life is pre-planned. This is divine intervention to break the old toxic patterns of the situation that is not serving you, but you're too stubborn to leave it. So this is required. This is because of for the subconscious awakening. So that you realize that what your role in this entire life is, or what your purpose is. So this particular moment is required, and this moon card is sort of validating it. And this is also your intuition telling you that believe there is a path ahead. This is for the highest good, for your highest good, and for everyone else's highest good. The next card that we've got here is Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups upright, there's a dove, there's a cup that is, there's water, fulfillment. There's new creative energy, and dove obviously means there's going to be more peaceful and more sort of accepting energy. And there's a hand that is coming out of nowhere from the clouds. Like there's a helping hand, there's support that is coming, which you don't see as you're falling from your tower, or as you sit inside your tower scared and in that fear of what is going on outside. This is what is outside, something very, very magnificent is waiting for you outside, that creative energy, that new project, that new relationship. But you're too stuck in your toxic past, toxic pattern or cycle. And despite all attempts from the universe, breaking of the tower is the final resort. And with this particular Ace of Cups, you see this blossoming of lotus in the water underneath, which is subconscious mind again. So this is what the entire story is. This is what the energy is. This is where you are being taken, even if you feel you're somewhere here. So you just need to trust this intuition, this divine card here. Next card that we've got here, a very strong card, sort of validating. It's almost surprising to me that how these cards just sort of, they all picked up from random decks and they all just speak the same story. So what we've got here is Phoenix Rising, which is very much what is happening here. So there's fire, there's a breakdown of your tower, but what you need to understand is this is what is going to happen. But for Phoenix to rise out from the ashes, first the tower has to burn down to the ashes. So you have to go through this pain because you were not letting go of your tower, of your walls, of your illusions. This is just an illusionary tower. This is not what is meant to be in life. This is what the universe has decided. So for Phoenix to rise, for your rebirth, for you to be able to, get to this particular cup, this new energy or this new life, new career, new project, new happiness, new romance, new relationships, the Phoenix has to rise. But for that, first the tower has to burn down to ashes. So this is just part of the process. You just need to trust that process, that this is what is happening. The next card that we've got here to support exactly all that is Chaos and Conflict. And we'll just put that right under the Tower card because that's where you are right now. There's this, you don't know who you are anymore. So you see this animal here is sort of cross between a zebra and a giraffe. It does not know what it is. It's standing in this desert with nothing around, and the tower has collapsed, and now your layers are coming off. Now your masks are breaking down when you are sort of put into this external environment from where you were running away, hidden in your tower, thinking this is how my life is going to be. But the universe has decided, no, you need to sort of commingle with all the other elements out there because this is the reason why you are on this planet, to contribute to expansion of the universe. So now your external mask is coming off, and you can see the layers of that zebra are sort of breaking off, and then there's a giraffe underneath. So you're going to find a new you after this tower is broken, and you will sort of, it'll come to you as a surprise that, that I never knew this is what I'm capable of, or this is who I am. So you're going to find this new you along with these new opportunities. But you need to let go of that resistance because that's what is going to reduce your pain of falling. The next card we've got here, this little card, what it shows is there's few people that are all sort of co-contributing to this magic, like as if they're creating some sort of, as if they're using fairy dust to create something new. There's this magic out there, and that's what the universe wants you to understand, that you've been locked into this tower that you created, your illusions, that this is how life is always meant to be, this is how things happen to me, this is what it is, so I'm going to protect myself. Particularly you're stuck in the same career that you hate, in the same job that you hate, in a relationship that you hate, or you've even sort of, you had some toxic relationships and you've decided you're never going to fall in love again. You are never going to be a part of community or be part of someone else's life ever again. But the universe wants you to know that's your plan, but that's not the universe's plan. And there are factors that you cannot control, no matter how high or how strong the towers you build. When they need to be broken down, they will be broken down with just one lightning bolt. And the pain is unbearable, obviously, when you're falling, because you're free falling, you don't know where you're going. But if you willingly choose to get out of your tower, then you can see what you're doing and where you're heading. But regardless, this is what the universe wants. The universe wants you to, go out there and create magic. The magic that you were always meant to create, that potential that you have. The universe wants you to use that potential and not lock it in a particular tower just because you're too scared of the outcome or the consequences that it's going to bring. So yeah, this is the focus that we need to sort of have on. The next card that we've got here is Love, Compassion. As you see in this particular card, there are two hands, not just one hand. There are two hands. And they're reaching through a heart and in the background there's green fields, which is a color of heart chakra. So what this is sort of telling you is that all this is happening to bring some love and compassion into your life, and there's sort of healing happening through this chaos and destruction. All this is leading to the healing of the heart, where you need to heal your own heart, but also let other people or this hand that is coming out of nowhere to bring that healing. They are meant to be there. It's not like, a coincidence that, your tower is sort of collapsing and there's this other hand. So look out for people who are giving you this hand. Look out for these opportunities. You're too stuck in your tower. So focus on that love and compassion for yourself in this particular situation. Of course, for others as well, but definitely there's nothing wrong you have done. That tower was never meant to be there. So instead of crying over the tower's broken and you are falling into an abyss, accept it. It was never meant to be there, and there's something much more beautiful as you fall into that abyss, because that's where you're going to become the phoenix and rise out. But also keep your heart open. You need to open this heart chakra, and that's where all the healing and love and compassion is going to come from, and that's how from the ashes the phoenix is going to rise. The next card that we've got here is, it's not a surprise here again. Like I said, it amazes me how all these cards from random decks, but they all sort of point to the same thing: acceptance. So you need to learn to accept the things that you cannot change. And that's what you're going through the tower. That resistance has to be just given off, because the more resistance you hold on to, the more you're hurting yourself and the more pain you're causing yourself. So that compassion is missing. Compassion for yourself is missing. So you need to forgive yourself for the choices that you've made that led you to build that tower in first place, and then you need to sort of bring that compassion for yourself, and that is only going to come from acceptance. Resistance is not going to bring that, because all these events are going to happen regardless, but it's the journey that counts, where you are your biggest enemy. You're the one who sort of built that tower to begin with, whereas you're supposed to be out on the ground, out in the fields, out there with people, co-contributing to the expansion of the universe. So try to focus on this acceptance of whatever your situation right now is, whatever is happening or whatever you're going through. And of course, the last card that we've got here is releasing resistance. Like I said, all these cards just sort of are very loudly talking about just release the resistance and accept what is going on, because the more you're holding on to the resistance, the more pain you're causing to yourself, and the more the chaos and conflict you're causing for yourself, for your own life. So this is all I've got for you, Group 2, for this particular week. Please take only what resonates with you and leave the rest here. But above all, please just have a very good week. Thank you and take care. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to this week's Pick a Card reading. If you chose this particular pile, then this is your reading. Please remember, this is a general reading, so only certain messages might resonate with you. So please take only what resonates and leave the rest here. All right, let's just start your reading. All right. So the first 3 cards that we've got here for you is Queen of Cups reversed, Judgment upright, and Knight of Swords upright. Let's just go into these particular cards in detail individually. All right, let's look at Queen of Cups. Now, when this card is upright, you see this particular lady that's got a cup that is, closed. Cups indicate emotions, and then there's water around, again, emotions, but she looks very much in control of her emotions. Like the water is not touching her feet. There are some pebbles around, so it's sort of, she's not getting overwhelmed by her emotions. But when the same card gets reversed, the energy that is present here is that you are sort of getting overwhelmed by your emotions. So it's like there's an energy of that you take care of others and you do it really well. But what is missing is that the focus is always on others. The focus is not on you. And this is what this card is urging, that your current energy is where you're giving too much. There are no boundaries when it comes to emotions. So you're taking care of everyone else out there, but you yourself feel empty. Your cup is empty. You're drained. There's nothing to give, but you're sort of still pushing hard to give. This could be a situation in a relationship, family, or in your career or workplace where you're just giving too much without taking, or without taking the rest where you can replenish your resources. So there's a lot of that emotional overwhelming, like you sort of, also there could be a scenario where your emotions are taking too much control of you. Like your intellect is definitely missing in this entire thing, and it's all water, it's all just emotional energy, and that sometimes causes a lot of imbalance because the boundaries start to get blurred, where you should stop. That point is missing in your life here. You're sort of just constantly giving, and there is just too much of like I would say too much of burden here, like you're carrying other people's baggage. So in terms of relationship, you're absorbing other people, the other half's issues and baggage, and you're making it yourself. Same thing with the work, or with any other situation that you are in right now. So you need to just sort of look at that element of it. Also with this Judgment card, what we see is there's a time to make some sort of a decision. Either this is your current energy, or this is just coming in your immediate future. A decision could be about a decision about staying in a relationship, decision about changing jobs, staying in a job, decision about something else in your life, with something that is consuming all this energy. So there's some situation you are in which is taking all this emotion, where you're emptying yourself to a point where you think this is going to help you to retain whatever you're trying to retain. But apparently there is a time for judgment coming. Like you have to make that decision, but this decision cannot be made from this place. What we also see here with the third card, Knight of Swords, is there's this passion, there's this very fast moving energy, an energy that's sort of just makes the decision straight away without thinking. Like, you know, it's not like, should I do it, should I not do it? It's very much like, yep, I'm doing it, sort of an energy. This is your intellect here. This is your intuition or emotions. And this decision needs both of that. There has to be both elements for you to make that decision, and that is what your right decision is going to come from. So you need to get control or hold of these emotions. Do not make your decision from this place if, you know, this is a scenario you are in. And you cannot make your decision completely on this place as well, where you turn off your emotions. You need to get these both elements, your logic and your intuition. So your right and your left brain sort of both have to work in consensus and balance to make this decision that you're sort of avoiding to make by compensating with these emotions. So this Queen of Cups reverse energy could also come from a place for some of you where maybe as a child you did not get that care, you did not get that nurturing energy, so you're trying to sort of overcompensate it by giving it to other people because you know how it feels to not get that. So you think, if I overdo it or overcompensate, you're healing that energy, or you're healing your past energy, you're healing that child that should have got, that deserved to get that care and nurture. So that could be a scenario here too. But like I said, there is a decision time coming, or is upon you, sort of where you will have to bring these both energies into picture, logic and intuition, to make this decision. The next card that we've got here is a hole in the soul. And that's what I've been talking about when I spoke about Queen of Cups. So it feels like that there is some inner healing for you to do. And you've been too focused on healing everyone else, filling everyone else's cup, but your own cup, your own heart is empty. There's a void. There is a feeling of emptiness here. Like you can see this beautiful woman, everything looks perfect from outside, but there's a hole in the heart. Like there's still this emptiness, something is missing. So you overcompensate that by giving too much love and care and nurture to other, thinking you're healing that hole in your soul by nurturing other people, but you're ignoring yourself. You need to nurture yourself. You need to fill your own cup here before you start sort of looking at other people. And once you've done that, that's when you can get your logic and intuition balanced. And that's when this decision that you will be making is going to be the right choice, the right decision that you're going to make in that particular situation. If you make it from this particular place, then obviously it does not look like you're going to be keeping your interests in a picture. You're going to be obviously making decisions that are going to suit other people. If you completely make it from logic, then you're not going to take into account how your decision will impact others. So you need to have both these energies to make that decision. But more than that, about that decision, first you need to heal that hole in your soul. That emptiness has to be filled, where you need to go into your past and forgive whoever is the reason for you to overcompensate this emotions. Like, maybe someone did not care for you, or you thought you deserved much better than what you had, but you need to go into your past and sort of forgive that person. And in that forgiveness, you're going to find that healing, where you don't have to sort of project it onto the world by overdoing something or overindulging in something else. The next card that we've got is Between Worlds reversed. Now, as you can see, if I make this card upright, so you're in a phase of transition where you're stuck, your energy. So if you look at this, so there's half of it is very nice and bright, which is, let's say this is your emotional element, which is nice and bright. So there's too much of this. And then we've got this logic, which is pretty much very dull. So the contrast between the two is way too much. So you need to sort of balance those scales. You are in that between worlds, you are in that transition, but you need to get this entire picture clear before you make that decision. And for that, that's the reason why this is reversed, because you've still got that imbalance here. So you need to bring that balance so the picture is complete for you to make that decision. When the decision is made from this or that, because this is too much and this is too less, and that is not going to sort of serve you in the long run or in your highest good. The next card that we've got here, this little card, you see a person underneath the chair, and then there's this other person that is sort of directing them what to do, and that is what your situation is. Now, that person on the top could be a person, or it could be a situation, it could be a relationship, it could be a career, it could be a job, but this is the external influence that is on you, and you feel obligated, you almost feel obligated to nurture and care. Or it could be in a family situation where, you've got your kids and responsibilities, and you're just doing too much for them without filling your own cup. You need to get that, you need to retreat for a day or so to fill your own cup before you keep giving. So you need to have those boundaries, healthy boundaries. And as you see in this particular situation, this particular person, which is your energy, underneath the chair, you feel obligated to do that. They're like, I need to overcompensate, or I need to give more to this relationship. But this person is not tied to this chair. This is you willingly sitting under the chair thinking, this is what you're meant to do. This is how it is. This is my situation, and I'm supposed to nurture, heal this particular person at my own expense. And if you actually see this particular chair, this situation or relationship, or, the association with the job or whatever, it's not even stable. The leg is broken. This is going to collapse. This is not a healthy place. This chair is of no use. Even if you follow all the instructions, the moment you're going to sit on this chair, this is going to collapse. This is an illusion. So whatever you're doing here is not going to help you keep this chair. So what the universe is urging you is just, get out of this little hole that you've got yourself into, thinking this is what it is. And, and there needs to be that balance between this situation, this person, this job, and you. So try to get that balance here. Try to see the world from this different perspective, because right now you're just, you've not even got your head up. You're literally just giving with your head down, as if, and with your hands out, like, just take from me. Like, this person's fully drained. There is nothing left to give, but this person's just taking, or this situation, or this, particular, whatever the element is, just taking from you. Next card that we've got here is Rain, Purification. Now, with rain, obviously, just before the rain, there's a lot of stagnation. There's this heaviness. And with rain, what it does is it refreshes, it fills the streams, it washes off that heaviness, that feeling of being stuck, or that sort of energy. In your case, what the universe is saying is that you need to fill your cup. You need to purify. You need to get clarity in your heart and in your mind. So you need clarity in both, because right now it's all foggy. Your emotions are taking too much control, and no decision made from this particular place is going to serve you or serve the highest good of the universe. So get that clarity for yourself. Like, this water energy is way too much in this reading. There's a lot of water here. There's a lot of contrast sort of thing. We need that balance here. So focus on getting that balance. so that it can serve you well in this particular situation. That's the reason why this situation exists, for you to sort of expand your consciousness. The next card that we've got here is death, but this is more like ending of something. So ending of this toxic situation, toxic cycle, where you feel obligated to just, outpour your love, outpour your emotions onto someone or a situation that is not serving you. The moment you bring that balance of logic and intuition in your decision making, that's the moment this situation is going to get balanced as well, whatever the situation is, with the job, with the person, in a relationship or in a family sort of situation. But the death of that particular toxic pattern, toxic relationship, the toxic pattern or that you have with yourself, of where your inner child is not healed, where you're compensating for lack of love or care that you got. So you need to go and forgive that person and heal your inner child. And that's where you're going to get your strength for ending of this toxic relationship. Because once that ends, there's going to be a healthy balance. And that is what is your next sort of mission out of all this chaos. The last card that we've got here is letting go of panic. So it's likely that you do realize that you are overdoing, or you're overpouring your emotions, despite this hole in the heart or hole in your soul sort of situation. You do realize that it's not healthy, but there is a lot of anxiety attached, because you have these scenarios in your mind. But what if I do this? What if I try to get out of this chair and this person goes? I really want to hold on to this person. Or what if this job goes? Or what if this happens? So there's a lot of negative sort of influence coming out of it. So you're overcompensating by giving too much, despite the fact that you have absolutely nothing left to give, and it's not serving anyone. So you need to let go of that panic. You need to understand that no amount of this panic or anxiety is going to bring you any fulfillment. So just to get the relationship or the job to stay, you're sort of giving up your entire life. You're putting your life on hold to hold this something that is very toxic or is not serving you. So so just focus on cleaning or clearing that that whatever trauma you hold that is sort of making you do this whole overcompensation thing. Group 3, this is all I have for you this week. Please take only what resonates with you, because only the parts that resonate are meant to be for you, because this is a general reading. Above all, please just have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week in the next reading.